Did you record
Susan?
Here.
David?
Yeah.
Debbie?
Yeah.
Linda?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Shelby here, Kim.
Yes.
Agenda approval. Any additions or deletions? What's that? You can't yet. We're not there. You'll have your chance. Agenda approval. Any changes, additions, deletions?
Actually,
Hard to go.
I do want to bring up something that I know about, like with the fire hall, and you guys do that if the fire hall report.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can do it then.
Okay.
Yeah. Is everybody's cell phones off by chance? Vibrate?
Yeah.
Okay, vibrate. All right, okay. All right, I make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I open public comment at 7:04. Okay. Now, ma'am, you can now.
My name's Lisa Huddleston and I live over by Rolling Hills. And I'd like to talk to you and have it put on the agenda and this addressed before the meeting next month about the need to put our checks in the outside drop box when we're paying our taxes. There is nothing on our tax bill or the general site or the Augusta Township information. It's only if you look under the treasurer, most people won't look under the treasurer to see that you changed the ruling in 2021. I contacted all the municipalities in Washtenaw County. We are the only area, only municipality that insists that you put a check in a drop box outside the building. Even during hours, I went to pay my taxes and I was told, even when I explained I've had my identity compromised 3 times, could they please just take my check at the window? I was told that was not their policy and they would not accept my check. The pandemic might have been a good ruling for 21, but the pandemic, according to our president, is over. If none of the other municipalities, bigger or smaller, and even Washtenaw County, refuse to take a check at the cashier's window, why are we doing it here in Augusta Township? At the day that I tried to put my check in for over $2,000, I was told it interferes with their job to take a check. It's part of their duties as their job description to accept not only cash, but checks and any other kind of payment. Prior to the pandemic, we also got a receipt at the time that we paid our taxes. Now we have to request it in writing. Put a little box on your check bill, the bill for our taxes, if you want a receipt. Otherwise, you don't even find out unless you look on your bank statement that they cashed the check. I think this is foolish. If everybody else is accepting a check, then the people in Augusta should be allowed to do it too. We've had too many thefts from people's mailboxes, regular mailboxes. And if you look online, regular boxes like the one that's in the wall at the hall. I don't want to have my check stolen. So please,
Your 3 minutes is up.
reconsider it.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else? All right, please. Okay, anybody else?
Yeah.
Public comment?
Yes.
Okay, well, okay.
Hi, I'm Cindy Hall. I had someone private message me on Facebook stating that someone was going door to door, getting a petition signed, and slandering 2 other board members, stating that they were corrupt and taking bribes. And I can only speak for one of those board members that I know is not taking bribes because I know who pays the bills.
Thank you. Calvin, go ahead.
Well, evidently you have changed the routine where there was no answer to the end until the end of the meeting. And we're still recovering from I call it a twister, a little tornado. on 20 acres, there is more than a block of area with serious damage that we have had to deal with, that no one from this township has helped with. We are doing everything, including dealing with the county. And then I want to go on to the new project that is being proposed, the reading for a new development. I guess there's no one from the planning commission here, I don't see them, but they are for development, under your administration, the people that have been appointed. And development has led to problems to people downstream. Perhaps you're aware of it, where you once had property. We are dealing with damage from drains not proper, from the school development, from the Belmead development. And then you're gonna put another development on the McCarty Drain. The Twister, I wasn't against this until we had more drain problems. Right now, the drain, the McCarty Drain, is completely occluded. So when they have more runoff water coming downhill where the McCarty starts, goes through Belmead, goes through the wetlands, is coming to my house and causing damage at my house. And so it's personal. And it's like, if they want to fix it, there will be more tax assessments. If anyone wants to have a conversation about this, I still do @RAC on Facebook. Thank you for your time.
Anybody else? Go ahead, Ron.
I was just gonna give you the Mitchell's update. I've talked to Justin Hodge now probably 20 times, and I don't know, Reggie Miller's a person from his office, Mr. Finley Arnett. They are planning a visit out there, coming up soon.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, when that happened, was everybody supposed to, around my community, when all this started, to try to get it changed, the zoning, were we supposed to have gotten a letter in the mail? Because nobody, I know before all this stuff going on with the stuff over here, everybody got a letter in the mail. Nobody, the 14 houses surrounded, nobody got a letter around my house when all that started.
I can barely hear you, Rod. Can
Oh.
you stand up,
You
please?
I can hear him, yeah, you can.
I can't hear him.
When all that stuff started behind my building about them changing the zoning and stuff, was everybody supposed to get a letter like everybody got around here when this started about this 33 acres? Because nobody got any letters. I went door to door.
Yeah, we didn't get any letter until after the fact.
Yeah, that's what, I don't,
Wait, you can't go back and forth, you know?
No.
Yeah, okay. Anything else?
where was something else? Oh, and Washtenaw County said that they were supposed to be working with your attorney, because the actual Washtenaw County attorney called me. He said, your guy's attorney is not giving any back and forth with them, because they said this could have already been settled, or probably coming close to a total end, because they were never told about the buildings by Mr. Smallwood's property, the big building there, and all that stuff over there. If they would have known about that, they would have added that then. Now they just had to add this 2 weeks ago. So if everybody went out there, you think they would have seen those big buildings there and would have said something. And this could be going faster, saving you guys the money, for your attorney, but he said, your attorney's not working with him. So I think it's time to find a new attorney for you guys, for this whole, for everybody here. I think that guy's just taking you for your money. That's my opinion. And I think all this stuff happening over here, everybody, I think, if this was happening behind their house, or what I got going behind my house, you guys would say, no way you'd let that happen, because you don't want to deal with it. And that's just my opinion. I think it should be put in everybody else's laps before this stuff goes, put yourself in the position of this man over here. So his house is gonna be cut in half in value, just like mine is, if this gets let go. And everything from your planner now said everything behind my house does not meet your guys' end game of, the township, all these buildings. And it's right from your planner, so that's what I'd like to say.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Go ahead, Pete.
And do you have any update on the Lamardo wetlands? Are they gonna finish digging to put in a wetland, or just push the topsoil off? Yeah.
Anybody else? Anybody? Okay, I close public comment then at 7:14. Okay. Let's see, board response. Anybody want to take a crack at any of that?
Yeah, I'll take a crack at the wetlands, Pete.
Yeah.
I can only tell you the last I know on that is that, if you remember in the springtime, there was more water out of it than there was in it. And, so that's why the barriers have not been taken down, because they're supposed to come back out, access it, and they said they're gonna fix it. I haven't seen nothing fixed yet, so, that's the best I can tell you on that, so, but, we're waiting on them. But you're right, there's something wrong with it, because the water's supposed to be in there, not outside of there.
And I talked to their engineers 4 weeks ago, and they were supposed to start on it, so it's time to make another call. That's what it comes down to. Yeah. Rodney, as for Mitchell's place, that's coming to a head in September. And it's our engineer, we have a new engineer, they're the ones that are communicating back and forth, not so much the attorney. So that's what I do know. And that's coming to a head in September. And that's the time when that comes up to challenge anything new or anything else, when that meeting comes up in September for the planning commission. And then Del Lynn, I'm gonna have to contact the drain commission and see if how much they'll charge to clean out that drain. Pete, you know if that drain was ever cleaned out?
No, it has not even when I was in.
Not even when you was in? Okay, it's time then. All right, I'm gonna contact the drain commission.
More
and-
taxes?
No, I can make it, if we can make it a project where we have in our budget to possibly pay for it. I'll look at that first before we move on anything else.
Look at the roads too, the bridges bad.
Yeah, okay, it's not back and forth, Dylan, but I will look into it, I will.
This is all I can tolerate. Thank you for your time.
Okay,
Have a good day, Dalen.
all right.
Can you tell me about the letters, though, that probably be alone? The letters, should have been sent out?
I wasn't in office at the time, so
No, the letters about behind my house.
you mean going out to people?
Yeah, should letters been sent out like over here with the 30?
From the very, very beginning, yes.
Nobody got any?
Well, I wasn't in office when it happened.
You were in office
Okay,
a
we,
year and a half ago.
no, all right, we're not going back and
Oh,
forth.
no,
what
I'm
I'm
not.
saying.
I thought you were voted in 4 years ago.
No, I was voted in 7 years ago.
Okay,
What I'm saying is, it's my turn to speak.
okay.
When this whole project started from the very beginning, that's probably when it had to have been sent out, letters.
There's
Not, pardon? No, I'm gonna let you, go ahead, add to it.
If it would have been done right,
Yeah,
nobody would be complaining right now.
right,
When it started, even before me, Brian,
yeah,
even before me,
yeah,
okay, the planning commission, before giving zoning, wanted Mitchell Storage to go through everything that he's going through now. And that was before giving zoning.
Right.
They should have gave him zoning and made him go through the process like he's doing now. So since this is a turned around, in my opinion, turned around deal, I don't know if there needed to be letters sent out or not, because it was an ongoing project.
All right, okay. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
not-
ain't we
it's
talking back in the early 2000s, or?
Dave's wife.
All right.
Let's see, I got 16. Yeah, somewhere around in there, 25 years ago.
Yeah, but it says right on it, even before I can go to the zoning commission, certified things has to go in the mail to everybody, just
Right.
like they did these guys. Nobody got it, so it should have never even went to the zoning board.
Well,
Can you send them out
Still
now?
board response.
I don't, this is board response. I don't know. Let me make some calls tomorrow and see what I can
Can
find
you
out.
let me know?
Yeah, I will. I'll let you know. You know, if I don't get back with you right away, just call me Monday,
Yeah, you can
okay?
email me if you want. that's
Okay,
fine.
all right, great. All right.
So, I'd like to say something to the lady that has an issue with my policies. First of all, I changed the policy in 2020 when COVID started, and through that policy, we had enough time to see that there were a lot of efficiencies to be gained by having the Dropbox and having the rules that are in place with the receipting. We continued it because of that, and I have to tell you, there has been no theft in my office, and I get a little perturbed when people bring up past theft, which I was no part of. My office was no part of. I'll have to tell you, ma'am, you are in a very small minority. 95% of the residents do not have an issue with my policies. We have very few requests to send out receipts, and everybody, most of the people in this township are okay with the policies in my office.
That's not true.
That is true.
But even if you have a problem with your policies, you should review it. You're the only one in the whole county.
Ma'am.
Ma'am, this is board
Yeah,
response, so I'm
it's not back
trying to
and
tell
forth.
you, it helps the cashier process the money more accurately, more efficiently, to spend less time on being constantly interrupted by people coming in to pay physically, and I don't see any issue with people dropping off checks in the Dropbox. I thought I was making things easier for people. You just have to come up to the township hall and drop your check in. You get a receipt by email or in the mail. What could be easier than that? I will not accept people griping about theft. There is no theft in my office. And that's it.
Ma'am, if you feel insecure about the mailbox that you're dropping into, I personally invite you to come up and I will show you how it is designed. It's very secure, but if you'd like to, I'd be more than welcome.
I saw your box, and I talked to the people at Washtenaw County, and they said unless your box has a drop box that goes all the way down to the floor, you were looking at a box that could be tampered with, and you would not want to have anybody put anything down there that could possibly be stolen. So I don't think it was
Their
unreasonable
office
to
is
ask.
not my office. And they have
Until
no
it
right to
happens-
speak for my office. They don't.
All right, Brian.
Okay.
7A.
7A. Wait. Debbie has a response.
Okay.
Debbie, have it.
I don't know who told you that, and I don't care who told you that. Oh, it was me going around getting signatures, and I was telling people that they were selling our township out. So get your wording right,
My
please.
wording is right.
No, it isn't. Because it's simple fact, $50,000 is not worth selling out this township. People don't move to the country to turn it into city. Sorry.
I got, Mr. and Mrs. McCormick, I respect what you're doing. I wish you well on your quest. I've told you that, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Now, I am gonna say, I believe you're good people. I really can't blame you for what you're doing, but you do have a cancer in your group. And this cancer is going door to door, telling people it's gonna be Section 8.
Are you calling me a cancer?
Wait, let him
Excuse
finish.
me.
It's
Debbie,
mine.
Debbie,
It's-
let him-
this is
let him
mine.
finish.
You do have a cancer in your group that's telling right out lies. Now, I have no problem with what you do as long as it's on the truth. That was my thing from the beginning. Just please tell the truth when you're doing, and watch who you got doing, these things for you. It doesn't take a disbarred attorney to tell you that the slander is going on out there.
Why can't we vote on it, not be dictated
Wait,
on it?
That's
you
not-
can't, wait, you can't speak.
I can't
It's
answer that
public.
because that's the law. I don't make the laws.
Well, it seems like we're being
You
dictated.
can't
on what
speak
we do around here.
in a meeting while he's having his
Well,
turn.
I can answer his question. He's
Yes,
got
you
the right
do.
to
Make the
answer. I can answer
ordinances.
his question, and Debbie, please let me
Please
talk.
let him finish.
But, that's about all I got to say, but for now on, when you're doing your petitions, and this isn't just me making it up, I mean, there's other people, I got it in writing. It's on security cameras of what's been said. And, yes, you have a cancer in your group.
And I'll back that up with, I had someone come to my house and I had neighbors come to my house. Again, I'm with him, I do not have a problem with people doing a petition if this is what they want to do. I do not have an issue with that. I have an issue with people being honest about it. Someone came to my house and my neighbor's house and said something about gliders are gonna be flying out of there? And this is gonna be Section 8? I have an issue with people lying about this. You can get all the petitions you want. I will not try to stop you. I will not even try to discourage you. I just want the truth out there. This is not Section 8. I don't know where it came out about gliders flying out of there, but my neighbor even said that she was told the exact same thing. So that's the only issue I have with this.
Where the gliders are?
They said something about the gliders, they're gonna be doing some field out there also and doing gliders. And my husband was one of them that talked to the people that said it. And then my neighbor came right over afterwards and said, what is this? I don't even understand what this is about. And she mentioned the gliders too and says, how can they be flying gliders? So two people, and everyone can shake their head, no, it wasn't. Two different people, they were told this. So whoever came to my house and my neighbor's house mentioned the same thing, which sounded completely crazy. I couldn't even explain where anything was even talked about with gliders. But this was said,
There's
huh?
gliders now. It's the old driving range that's being used by a
Please.
paralyzed.
Yes,
Board
but that's not
response.
what they were saying. It was very clear on this, that they said something about having gliders coming out of there, and that didn't make any sense. But again, this is not Section 8 housing, but to go around telling people it's Section 8 housing is not being fair. I don't have a problem with you I have a problem with people being honest about it. That's the only
Okay.
issue I have on this.
Categorically denied.
This-
And
Wait,
plus,
wait,
and
wait.
plus, when you got somebody go around saying you got two people on the board taking kickbacks from the solar company, that's just not right.
No one even
That is,
said
that's
anything about a solar
outright,
company.
that is outright slander.
Yeah.
It does not take a disbarred
Prove
attorney
it.
to tell you that is slander.
Prove it.
Well, and I wanted to say the same thing. I'm glad to see that.
And I'm gonna
somebody
say that
residents are
Section 8 is
taking an interest
$1,400
in
at
the
Wayne
township.
County.
Wait,
How,
let me.
I am glad to see that so many residents are taking an interest in what goes on in the township. However, I'm very disappointed about the misrepresentation and the incorrect information that's going around, because I too have heard from people, and it's not fair to the residents that are being given false information, nor is it fair to the people or business that are being misrepresented. I have something to say on that.
Wait,
Right.
ma'am,
No,
It's-
yeah, okay.
it's not
All right,
public
I'll wait.
comment. Please wait.
I'm gonna answer your Section 8. Section 8 is paying $1,400 over in Wayne County. When they sit there and say that they're charging between $2,000 and $2,300, by federal law, you cannot stop them from renting Section 8. It
I
will
also-
become Section 8. It will become another Liberty Square.
Debbie?
So the young lady who did the presentation, I have a couple copies. She did answer every question that was asked at the last meeting in detail. So you're welcome to that.
Can't guarantee it won't.
Wait, please, please, all right.
I can't guarantee
All
it's
right.
gonna be
All
sunny
right then,
tomorrow.
so there's
Uh,
no slandering or no misleading.
All right, board response
I'm not
over.
saying, never said you
Dave,
guys.
over, everything's over.
Yes.
Moving on, approved draft DOT meeting minutes,
Yes,
7/25/23.
So I would make a motion to approve the Board of Trustees draft meeting minutes from July 25th, 2023.
Second. Susan,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Debbie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Chris. What?
Yes.
Thank you. Shelby, yes. Kim?
Okay.
We'll say yes, Kim.
Yes, sorry.
All right, approve audit financial year ending March 31, 2023.
So we have our auditors here today. And, yeah, come on up. If you don't mind.
We don't need mics.
We've never been accused of being
We have
quiet.
never been accused of being quiet.
Yeah, so I'm Mike St. Joe partner at UHY, along with Marlene Beach, a partner. And we're gonna discuss the audit results for the last fiscal year audit. We're not gonna go over the financial statements line by line, but we're gonna do a PowerPoint presentation that some of you have at your tables. So we did audit the Augusta Township charter as of for the year ended March 31st, 2023. We prepared our report on it. The financial statements are the responsibility of the township. Our responsibility is to express an opinion, and we express an unmodified opinion, which is the highest level opinion that we can. Now Marlene will go through some of the highlights.
Okay, as opposed to, as Mike said, going through the financial statements, so what we've done is put things in graph form, make it a little easier to understand. The first page, or pages of the general fund, the balance sheet. First off, we have cash and cash equivalents. Last year, they were about $990,000. They're up a little bit this year to just over $1 million. The other assets and liabilities are fairly comparable. Their fund balance non-spendable, that's usually just things like prepaid, that's things you can't get back. The one thing you want to look at for the township is the fund balance unassigned. Last year it was 1.117, this year is 1.163, so it's up about $43,000. And that's the result of revenue over expenditures for this past year. Next page is a pie chart, a comparison of the general fund revenues. We've got 2022 on the right, 2023 on the left. Your state share revenue was up $725 last year. It's about $700, a little over $793,000 this year. Franchise fees, almost comparable. Other revenues, was 180 last year, is about 160. Property taxes, 226 last year, 235,000 this year. That's for the general fund itself. Also did the same kind of comparison year over year to expenditures. One of the things we kind of look at is to see if the pie charts are comparable in size. And if you look at slide number 6, you'll see that the charts are comparable. What that means is that your expenditures are pretty much the same year after year. General government last year was 60%. This year is 62%. But overall, the expenditures were fairly consistent from year to year. And I mentioned before that revenues did exceed expenditures this past year, hence the increase in your fund balance. Next page is your sewer fund, your statement of net position. Cash and cash equivalents went down about 550, but if you notice, your capital assets went up, so bought things, kept them, and when you buy things, your money goes down. So therefore, we did see the increase in the assets overall as cash went down and fixed assets went up. Most of the rest of the charts are comparable year to year. If you look at water fund, we've got somewhat the same thing. Cash and cash equivalents are down by $328,000. Looking at the construction of water lines, capital assets again are also up. So one went down while the other one went up. We also did a balance sheet for the fire fund, one of the major funds of the township. Cash and cash equivalents is up about $100,000. Less capital outlay from last year as the fire, as the fire station was completed. Your fund balance, which is a restricted fund balance because it's based on tax revenue, was $809 last year and about $901 this year, $901,000. Like to jump in the next one?
Sure. And our profession requires that we make certain communications to the board. We put some of those communications in our engagement letter, and we have a file. The accounting policies that you'll note in note 1 of the financial statement are the township's management to come up with. We make sure in our audit that you're following those policies, which you would. Also the same with accounting estimates. It's up to the management team to make those estimates. We audit them to make sure they're reasonable and they work. We did have one audit adjustment to correct the depreciation expense in the water fund. And we had one past adjustment in the water fund related to certain audit billings that were caught up subsequently. We are not aware that this information is included with the other audited financial statements. Please report there was no disagreements with the township over the course of the audit. We do know that the township has a contract with the Woodhill Group for accounting services. They help do that. No issues discussed with the township prior to our appointment. Again, no difficulties in dealing with the township's management team related to the audit. They're very well prepared, got us the information quickly, answered our questions timely, so it helps speed the audit up. We're presenting it in August, and it's already been sent to the state.
It's already been submitted to the state.
So it's already been submitted to the state early. As part of our audit also, we look at certain key controls. It's kind of, we're not doing a full internal control audit, but we look at some of your key controls that you have set up in place, and we have to make sure there's no material weaknesses or significant deficiencies defined by our profession. Please report that we're none, so you were following, those controls were put in place to make sure that everything was accurate. And I think that's all we have.
Yeah, there's one new GASB pronouncement coming up next year. This year it was races, the township didn't have anything applied yet. This is based on